some issue with the food that we have here. I think there's some fuckery with the food. We're pushing way too much pills on people's for all of the problem that they might have, instead of looking at maybe the root cause of the problem. Maybe it's the food. Maybe they don't work out. Maybe they don't sleep good. There's a bunch of things that I think we need to switch the focus of like treating the problem and be more focused of like where the problem comes from. Because Absolutely. I think if you change those, one of my friend, we played football together in college, and now he's a psychiatrist, and he doesn't like the pills, right? Because when he evaluates a patient or whatever, the first thing that he does is like he's accounting for everything that they're doing now, right? And he says like, well, look, you're not eating well, you're not sleeping, you're drinking too much. You don't have those habits are destroying your life, basically.
Yeah, the chemicals in your body are fucked up.
You need to change those habits. Do that, right? Do that for a few months. Do that, and then we'll monitor how you feel. But the pills, you don't need the pills most likely. This is and we're too fast on putting a Band-Aid on the problem, I feel like.
Oh, and if you think, it's very funny because 50 years ago, when the food that we eat today came up, like the Green Revolution, they thought that was the path, and that was the best thing to do, and it was a very good idea. And now we are trying to realize that, oh my God, maybe we fuck up a little bit. What can we do?
It's so hard. It's so hard to agree that maybe we made a mistake.
And it's such a good business that it's not easy just to destroy everything and let's start from zero again and let's cultivate everything with no chemical.
Real challenges. There is real challenges. Like, guys, I need to pee. Let's take a break.
Me too. I've shaped us, and then.
Yeah. So talking about where you come from, and
ready, go.
Let's start there, maybe. Then.
I want to hear where my multi-ethnic partner comes from.
Where do I start?
With the short bleach hair, with sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
How does that work? With nose ring too. I like your style.
When we start dating, there was a hater who told us like, you are dating with a lesbian, and and it's so funny because it was
So the joke is always that I'm
a rich lesbian.
The rich lesbian.
The rich lesbian.
The rich lesbian.
And our relationship is fake.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but
how did that come from? Like, why the rich lesbian?
The rich lesbian look?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I am someone who identifies as queer, for sure.
Really?
I mean,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I identify as non-binary. I'm gender fluid.
Okay.
So, I kind of have always moved between different, just like my identity and my sexuality and my gender identity has always been very fluid. I don't know.
Yeah, so sometimes
But you're a woman, right?
Well, I mean, it's not something that it's hard. I don't necessarily identify with like a lot of female like tropes, you know what I mean? Or like things that characterize
like the way you
as
see yourself, kind of.
Yeah, it's hard. I have I struggle with that a lot. Like I
Why
feel like
you
I should. Well, I think that. Well, I think I know where it stems from, maybe, but. I mean, to be completely transparent. So I have struggled with like alopecia since alopecia is essentially it's an immunity disorder and you lose your hair.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
So is that a wig or?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm really happy to talk about this because I think that I should talk about it more.
Me too. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like you, and then and then you come out like an hour after we, and like, oh shit, I didn't think that.
That's the story became interesting.
Yeah.
So
This is interesting.
alopecia, so you lose your hair.
Yeah, your body starts attacking itself essentially, and
But-
I started developing this when I was like 6 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
But how old are you now?
Oh, I'm 32.
32. Okay, so we're the same age. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I started losing my hair at a very young age. And, it would come back for some periods, and then it wouldn't. And I would always go through this, like, this heartbreaking kind of, I don't even know how to talk about it. Actually, it's interesting. But going through this as a kid was really hard. And
yeah.
And growing up in,
What's the hardest thing?
I think growing up in a Colombian household, or and having the expectations, right? What is the vision of femininity? Like, we hold this, like, my parents, my dad, or it's like my daughter should be this, right? And
Because you look very different than the idea of, I guess, most people have from Colombian women. Very different.
Yeah. I'm not like this, vision. Like I don't carry myself in a certain it's.
We know the image.
We know the image.
We're in Miami. We know the image.
And I love it. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
vibrant. It's representative of who we are.
But if it's not who you are, then fuck the image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you're always trying to live up, right, to that kind of, that model. That's what's been set for us. And I grew up in a very that was the thing. So that was really hard.
Okay.
And I know that was really hard for my parents were very supportive, but I think my dad also really struggled with really accepting that I had this condition, that this was like a thing. So there was
the
alopecia.
Alopecia.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was having problem accepting that you had this. How does so what's the? Can you Google what's how do
she
like?
can probably explain, but I think your body has cells that they think are invasive, and so they're attacking it.
It
as if
attacks
a
itself.
Oh, really?
virus. Is that right?
Huh.
Yeah. It attacks
How do
itself.
you develop that? Is that something that runs in your family?
No,
Immune.
so yeah, it's immunity disorder, and it is something that, what doctors have told me is that it's stress induced. So, yeah.
I experienced once that I started losing my hair.
Well, yeah, you guys. So he's gonna start right here.
Because of stress. Really? When I used to live in Bogota, Bogota is a very stressful city, and I have a very stressful job. So yeah, that kind of things happens.
Why is it stressful? Is it because of crime?
When you live there, you don't think about that much. It's stressful because it's an expensive city. If you don't spend a lot of money, you will not live where you want to live. So you need to get a lot of money. I had a very stressful job. I am a cinematographer. I used to work as a cinematographer back in Colombia before the pandemic situation. There was a lot of pressure, economic pressure, professional pressure, friendship, family, blah, blah, blah. So I was super stressed, and I realized that I had no hair here.
You know what you need to do when you're when you have those kind of, you need to handle pressure more better.
I went on vacation.
Well, yeah.
And I healed. It was the funny thing. And I healed, and I realized that everything was on my mind.
Of course, it's all in your head.
That's
It's the pressure that you see, the pressure that you think the people at work puts on you. It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
So it's funny because we were talking about this last night. Because she's more she's like all in, all out, go,
It
and
doesn't
then
shut off.
and then
Always
she
thinking
needs
about
like
work.
vacation or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm not like that at all. I'm like, I take vacation every day. When I don't have the, sometimes I'm trying to do something and it doesn't, I cannot even focus. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
I'm the
that
same.
later.
Yeah.
I go for a walk. I go work out. I go I change. I like to change also. Like I have problem sitting still.
Uh-huh.
And I don't like to be in the same environment more than a few hours. So
Yeah, same.
sometime I go to the office, I work there for a little bit, maybe an hour or two, and then I move, and then I go to I go to the coffee shop, and I go have lunch, and then I come back home. I always like to. I have
Change.
a very hard time staying at the same place more than a few hours. And for me, like the reset, when I'm in my car, it's kind of my alone time. I do my well, I'm on the phone a lot, but I do most of my follow-ups when I'm in the car. Because most of the thing that I do for work is I talk, because I negotiate deals on the phone most of the time, and but for me, when I actually, if I don't want to talk to you, I'm not gonna take your calls. I'm not gonna take your call, even if I'll forward the call to voicemail or whatever. But I'm gonna call. Like, let's say I have to talk to you. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake! So I'm not taking the call now. Wait a few minutes, get in the right mindset to have the discussion, and I'm gonna call you back, right? But I think that's important. I think you need to do things on your own time. You need to figure out how to do, when you work for yourself.
When you work for yourself,
you need to do things on your own time when you're ready. So like, don't feel if you have someone or something that needs to get done, and don't let someone push it on you. Like, you have to do it, so fucking do it. But if you don't want to do it like right away, like maybe take 5 minutes, reset, and then go.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that when I started in real estate, that was very, very hard to learn, because everyone is calling you with stuff that you need to do and things that you needs to take care of, and clients are calling you with a lot of shit, and then the more
anytime.
Yeah. Well, they're going to take what you give them, right? So if you answer your phone all time, every time during the day, or even super late at night, or if you answer calls, if you answer texts, if you answer email, if you answer on social media, they're going to reach you from wherever, right? But if you don't want to do that, it's very, very easy to you just don't answer, and then call back from the different thing that you want to different, like how to.
Mindset.
No, not the mindset. The avenue you want to, like. Let's say you don't want to answer texts. You prefer calls, and if the person texts you, then call them. If you don't want to talk that much on the phone, but you're more effective emails or texts or whatever, then calls you don't answer, and then everyone has a different way that they prefer being reached. Being reached at, And I think that's that's something that you need to figure out for yourself, and it's going to make your life so much easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, your body is trying to kill you.
So my body's trying to kill me. Trust me.
You're struggling.
Yeah, life is hard. So anyway, I've had to deal with that my whole life, and so